Hi everyone, we are Naomi Gomez and
Lucero Dávila.
And we're going to do a review about The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde and
the novel A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol is the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, a cold and selfish old man who hates Christmas and cares only about the money.
Interesting. Tell me more about Scrooge.
Okay, Scrooge is a tight-fisted hand, squeezing, reaching, scrapping, glutton, covetous old sinner who has never seen a generous fire. He has the pointed nose, and the cold weather of the evil made his features stiffened, made his eyes red.
Well, he sounds cruel. Tell me more about his story.
Okay, one Christmas Eve, Scrooge is visited by the ghost of his business partner, Jacob Marley, who warns to Scrooge that if he doesn't change and becomes a better person, he will then end up like Marley, a ghost meant to wander forever, carrying heavy chains of sin. Finally, he tells to Scrooge that he must listen to the three spirits that will visit him at 12.
And what happened then?
The first visit is the ghost of Christmas past, who shows him his lonely childhood and the wrong choices to lead him to his present. The next is the ghost of Christmas present, who shows to Scrooge how people celebrate Christmas right now, even those who are poor. They also visit Bob Scratching's house, and Scrooge meets a little tiny Tim, Bob's sick son. And the ghost tells to him if nothing changed, little tiny Tim might die. Before disappearing, the ghost shows Ebenezer two miserable and unhappy children named Ignorance and Want.
And why the ghost showed to him these children?
Because the ghost wants Scrooge to open his eyes to the pain and the injustice around him.
And what happened with the last ghost?
The last ghost is the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Contrary to the other spirits, this ghost is silent and dark. He shows to Scrooge what will happen if he doesn't change.
And so, what will happen if he doesn't change?
First, he sees people talking about a lonely man who died, but no one is sad. And sees people stealing things from the dead man's house. Then he sees the Cratchit family is heartbroken because of the tiny Tim's death. Finally, the ghost shows Scrooge a gravestone with his own name on it.
Which was the effect on him after the visits?
Motivated by these visions, Scrooge makes up on Christmas morning, decided to change, and he's glowing with his good intentions. He becomes kind and generous with poor people, joyful and warm-hearted, and he becomes like a second father of Tiny Tim. And Scrooge will be always thankful with Christmas spirit.
And now I'm going to tell you about the Canterville Ghost. This is a story about a ghost which wandered for 3,000 years ago in a London Canterville mansion, frightening all its inhabitants until the family Otis moved in. They knew about his existence, but they took the situation with humor. The family consisted in Mr. Otis, Mistress Otis, the eldest son Washington, and Miss Virginia and the twins.
Wow, very interesting. And where were the family?
The family came from America. They didn't believe in ghosts, so they didn't take Sir Simon seriously, despite the strange things happened there. So the ghost tried to scare them with different disguises and tricks, as he has done for centuries. However, the family wasn't frightened at all. For example, when Mr. Otis offered him an oil for the chains, and when the Otis twins constantly teasing him. The ghost, seeing that the family didn't fear him and mocked him, went from being a proud and fierce spirit to feeling humiliated, frustrated, and depressed. So he regretted himself and stopped trying to scare them, as he wandered around depressed. So everyone was celebrating that the ghost finally was gone.
Then, what happened?
Days after this, Virginia went out for a riding on Brooklyn's meadows, and when she returns, she enters through a side door, and she finds the ghost on a secret room. It was not the first time she saw him, but this time he was solitary and depressed. Sir Simon spoke to her honestly, and he said that he was tired, he was remorseful, and that he wished to die, but he cannot. And he said that he wanted to go to the Garden of Death.
Wow. Why he couldn't rest in peace?
He couldn't die or go to afterlife because he killed his wife, and he has been punished for it.
How did he die?
9 years after his wife's death, he completely disappeared because his wife's brothers took revenge, and he died of hunger.
How did Virginia help him?
Virginia didn't mock or fear him like her family. She listened to him and pitied him. So the ghost tell her that only a pure person who has cried and prayed for her will help him to obtain forgiveness and peace. So Virginia bravely accepts to help him. So the ghost takes her through a secret passageway to a spiritual place, and where she must pray and weep him. She spends some time outside the physical world, and her family looks at her with concern, thinking that she disappeared. She was calm and transformed by the experience. She doesn't want to tell all the details, but we know that Sir Simon had been released and could rest in peace. Soon after this, they find his skeleton in a secret room, and they give him a dignified burial. Sir Simon showed Virginia where was his body. He also showed her a chest with antique jewels.
She kept the jewelry.
At first, her family believed they were a family heirloom, so they wanted to return it. So the previous owner insisted that they belonged to Virginia.
And how did the story end?
In time, Virginia married a duke called Cecil, which loved her deeply. On their honeymoon, he asked her what happened the night she disappeared with the ghost, and she responded with tenderness and doubt that he made her see what life is and what that dignified, and why love is stronger than both.
Wow, it was an interesting story. Can you provide me a description of any character?
I would definitely describe Virginia, which was a strangely beautiful girl of 15 years old. She was slim, graceful, and had golden hair. Her appearance made her look innocent and purity, which was important in the role of the story. But beyond her appearance, Virginia was kind-hearted, was brave, compassionate, and she showed empathy, and she was also thoughtful. She was also a sensitive, intelligent, and mature person.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.